I'm going to start going through the character submission forms one at a time, and I'll probably see if Fox and Jacob have any questions about it, and then also any comments they want to bring up for each one. The first one that I'm going to talk about is the character submission form. So this form right here is how you fill this out before every session. This is basically a way of saying, hey, I'm playing this character this time, and it tells the referee who you're going to be playing and has a log of it, so that later when you're like, oh, well, I played in that session, we actually can show that you did. This also shows the new hit point system in it, but it's not long. You just fill it out quick with some of your character's information, and then you're good to go. But this is done before every session. I think actually what I'll do is I'll just go through all of them real quick, and then we'll talk about them. So everything's front loaded at the beginning.
Yeah.
Next one I'll talk about is the quest and notice board. So this right here has some quest lines. If you want to pick any up, it also tells you like, what is it? What do we mean when we're talking about like portals to other worlds and all that? That's all in here. And it has a list of some of the most popular quest lines, sort of like adventure locations. Somebody's put out an order for strange opening in the mountainside to the northeast. Ooh, this is where you can get some ideas of things to do while you're playing. And once you look at this, you can request the specific quest from here, and it'll submit it to us. Now that's if you want to go on a specific quest. The next part is session scheduling form. So let's say you don't want to go on a specific quest, or you're not quite sure, or you just want to schedule a session because you just want to play something. What you do is you go into the Discord first, and you say, in the scheduling session, scheduling party forming tab, you sit there and you go, please somebody play this game with me. And then once you've got a party, or if you're doing solitaire, you want to schedule like a one-on-one session, you can do that too. You fill this out with how many people are playing, the average party level, and the preferred game date that y'all want to play on. And then one of the referees will look at the log and work out a good schedule with you, and then it'll post on the events tab in the Discord, which if y'all don't know where the events tab is, it's right at the top. This has every session that's coming up. All right. So after those, we have the referee session report. This is for referees. This will be after you've finished running a game. You fill this out, and this lets the other referees kind of know what's happened so that we're all on the same page. I won't take too long on this, but the referees should be filling these out after each session. The solo play log. This one is used more often than some of the others. So if your character is doing anything specific outside of referee play, or like an actual party play, and you're just like doing solo exploration on your own, maybe you have like a dungeon you picked up that was pretty cool online and you want to get some XP playing in it, or maybe you've opened a portal to go do Gods of Forbidden North and make a party of adventurers all on your own. You can use this.
I just filled out this earlier, actually last night, for one of my characters. So he was in House of Hope. He made it back to Cheetah Morte. I said what happened in got arrested at night, got attacked by orcs. But I had a riding horse, was able to get out of there, get a Cheetah Morte, and then I went back to my guild, and I'd done some stuff in the guild, and I have it all listed in log. So it'll log your XP, any encounters that might have happened if you got lost, all that stuff. And you don't need to go into like super crazy detail, but it's good to have an idea of roughly where you were when X, Y, and Z happened.
Yeah, it helps out a lot, and it helps the referees because we do check these. We do check these forms, and it's really the glue that is holding the campaign together. So the next one, or go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, when I'm doing this, if I know my character is going to do, I say if I only limited time, I'll do one thing on one day, another thing on another day, but maybe once or twice a week, I will fill it out. So it's not like 7 different things for me over the course of a week. I'll say, this is when I started in the in-game calendar, this is when I ended in the in-game calendar, and this are the events that happened.
Yeah.
I always do it between the game sessions as well. So I don't want to log up the catalog, but that's just me.
Yeah. You don't have to do super crazy, just as long as you get the idea of what you did over to us. The Multiversal Trading Company. So this is an idea from Arduin, and we just had that Portal to Adventure Kickstarter that just successfully wrapped up. But any city or any settlement that's 2-star or greater has a Multiversal Trading Company outpost in it. Some of these outposts are smaller or bigger depending on what city you're in. But the main thing is, if you don't want to go looking through the list and you just need to buy some gear, you do it through here. So this has some items that are for sale. These prices are marked up because you're trading convenience for good deals, but you'll just put what you bought. All right. This also includes money lending if you're doing that. But you just put that in there and you're good to go. This one's pretty straightforward, so I don't think I need to waste any more time on that one. Patron and domain order log. So in our campaign, you might get to a point where you're running a company or you're owning like a kingdom, or you're doing some sort of domain level play. We keep ours fairly simple. You guys can use a lot of outside resources. Like I recommend ACKS 2 is really good if you want some advice on how to do domain play. But the basic gist is that once a week, you'll submit an order for anybody working under you. So that includes your henchmen. If you have an army, this would be like telling your army where to go. Or if you have a business, this would be like, hey, I'm setting up a trading post in this city and I moved funds here to here, and this is like my monthly return that I got. It's usually written in character, but you don't really have to. I have some sample orders in here. You basically just put who you are, what your faction is, etc., and you write it out. Submit that, and then I will take your orders, and depending on how long it would realistically take to get to the person who you're giving the orders to, I will kind of hold it off, and then I'll give it later. This is also used if you're sending like a letter to another patron. Like if Fox was sending, his merchant guild was sending a letter to Xerxes' House of Hope guild, it would go through here. So the next two are fairly similar, so I'll get them both at once. But this is the spell submission and the magic/tech item submissions. So these are used if your character is creating magic items or spells. You're basically going to fill it out with what that spell does or what that item does, how you're making it, how long it'll take you, etc. I have some guides for that in the document itself, but that one's also pretty straightforward. But this is if you're creating any new spell, or even if you're doing spell research. So you found a spell book and you wanna learn a spell from there. You have to put that in here, because if you just tell it to me, I'm not going to remember that you said you're looking up a spell. Hireling board. These are standard and basic hirelings that you can get, and also men-at-arms. Any settlement of 1 star or larger can have hirelings in them, so you more than likely are going to be able to find these hirelings somewhere. Okay? And you submit it when you buy them. You can put the hirelings in here that you got.
They're also going to be 1-hit dice when you first get them. That sort of thing.
1-hit dice when you first get them.
Any appropriate gear.
Exactly. Any weird stuff that y'all want to, like if there's a hireling that you don't see that you really want that's not listed here, you put it down here that you want to pick it up. All right, guild joining application. There's tons of guilds in the Borderlands. That's a big part of the game. Y'all see that more when Radioactive Tougaloo comes out. You'll see a big list of guilds, and this also includes joining the military of a different nation, etc. This will be all explained right here, and then the star ranking. So you'll basically fill in what type of guild, what its star rating is, its name, and its location, and then you're going to tell that guild in 30 words or less why that guild should let you join. Obviously, if you're trying to join a secretive guild, you're gonna maybe have to be really, really persuasive in here. But this covers thieves guilds. This covers everything. All that's explained here. You'll submit this form, and then you'll get a notice back when they've either accepted or denied your application. All right, bounty hunting. Wanted dead or alive. So there will be a board of some bounties. There's only 2 of them listed right here, but there are more bounties in the world. If y'all just got the Portal to Adventure Kickstarter and y'all have Arduin books, there's some bounties that could be hunted down in that book as well. I think it's in AG2 or AG3, one of the 2 of those. So you're taking the notice off the board to go hunt down that guy. It's only 3 left. Last Will and Testament. So Magical Lawyers Guild of Kazagor. You find these guys in most cities. You can submit what the details of your will are and then sign it in character. This will solidify that the items that are lost upon your character's death will be returned to whatever character that you list in your will. It'll be split up however you like, and this is a magical lawyers, so they make sure it happens.
Once it happens, it's like, okay, these items will essentially disappear, and then they'll reappear where they need to go.
Exactly.
So that's this is lots of fun, because sometimes you get people like, oh, I'm going to take his corpse and I'm going to take this weapon that you had. I really like, oh well, this is actually going to his son on the other side of the map of the game. So
exactly. Yeah, it works out pretty fun, and this has been used before. So obviously, you can't just leave items to a character that doesn't exist yet. So you can't just be like, my next character gets it all. All right, property purchasing. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If you're in the Hex and you see that there are properties for sale, you can buy them. Your character buys them here, and this will solidify that that is now your property you're holding. This includes stuff like you've bought a house, or even renting. So if you've renting an apartment, or you've rented out space inside someone's castle and you're paying them, that goes in here. So finally, this one is less connected with your character, but this is the reading submission form. So we give XP for reading stories in the campaign. So every short story you read is 50 XP. Put that off to the side. Every short story you read from like Weird Tales magazines, anything from our inspiration and media list, 50 XP. Now, October is over. So no more Clark Ashton Smith. We just finished him up. This month is November. I know. I hope people collected their XP, but November is Edgar Rice Burroughs. So, Princess of Mars, John Carter, Tarzan. Go read some Edgar Rice Burroughs. You get 100 XP. It's double XP. All right, and this for Edgar Rice Burroughs, because he has actual books. This is per chapter, so go check that out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And this form is great for players who aren't able to play all the time, so they're going to be gaining XP. So if you have a little bit of this with the solo play, it's great. Also, if you're on the verge of leveling up, read a story. Yes. It might get you over the edge.
Exactly.
And you're going to learn something interesting that's going to help you inform about how the world, everything works.
Exactly. Yeah, I see those that have read these usually have a much easier time adapting to the world of the Borderlands. They get an idea of what kind of fantasy we're going after.
Yeah.
But that right there was just a quick speed run of the Google forms that are in there. These, if you don't submit stuff, like if you don't submit your solo logs or something, you don't get anything from doing the solo, which is fine. It just means that it won't count in game. If you've got referees that don't submit their logs, then their sessions didn't matter. So remind your referees that they need to submit their logs, or else they get lost. So
yeah, that's probably the most important one for group play, because like we done this awesome adventure, we got all this XP magic items, and the referee's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, no. Yeah,
don't let your referees forget. Yeah. I'll get onto them, but you gotta remind them.
And do your solo logs as well. This goes for everyone, because again, you might say, I want to join this adventure, but the last time you had anything logged, you were like 50, 60 miles away. But that's like 2 days, 3 days travel. So how would you get there in this date when you're still over there?
Exactly. And yeah, so these are very important.